Good evening, folks. This is Bill Breeden, and thank you for joining me for my Constellation tour number 25. We're going to go over Delphinus, the Dolphin, tonight. It's a small constellation. It's a summertime constellation, and it is dim, but it's one of those rare instances where when small and dim doesn't mean obscure for a change. It's pretty well known. So let's start by telling you how I have my settings. Delphinus is best seen in the late summer and early fall. So I have Stellarium set up for mid-September, and the time set up for 8:40 p.m. with a field of view of 60 degrees to simulate what you would see by looking up with the naked eye from the suburbs, from a moderately light polluted location. So that being said, I'm going to help you find the small, faint, but not necessarily obscure constellation of Delphinus. So what you want to do is start by locating the summer triangle. So we're going to start by looking in the east, a little bit southeast, and looking high overhead. It was even in mid-September. The summer triangle is still pretty high up. So from my previous tours, hopefully you do remember the three stars of the summer triangle. The bright one is Vega. The one that's a little farther from the other two is Altair. And then the third one is Deneb. So, and that points you to three constellations: Lyra, Aquila, and Cygnus. And if you remember from some previous tours, this faint group of stars near Altair is Sagitta, the arrow. And then wedged between Sagitta and Cygnus is Vulpecula, the fox. And then, of course, you have the Northern Cross right here that includes Deneb. This is Cygnus, the Northern Cross. And coming off of Vega, you have the parallelogram of Lyra. And then Altair points you in the direction of Aquila, the eagle. So you can find a lot of constellations by using the summer triangle, including Delphinus. This one it's a standout constellation, even though it's faint and small. What you want to do is look at the line of the summer triangle that connects Deneb and Altair, and just look right below it. Now, if the summer triangle is turned sideways a little bit, a different time of night or a different season, then you want to go in this direction from Deneb and Altair, what would be below if that line was at the bottom. And you're going to look for this little cutesy group of stars that form the Dolphin. It actually looks like a miniature dipper. It's got a little square here with a couple stars that come off it like a bent handle. That is Delphinus. Now, although there are no bright stars and it is very small, it is a standout constellation, sort of the way Lyra is, this parallelogram up here. And in some ways, even Sagitta. So some of these fainter, small constellations actually sort of stand out because the grouping of stars is distinct enough, and Delphinus meets that criteria. So let's have a look at the constellation lines. And you can see Delphinus looks like a little flag, the way they have it drawn here. But it could look like a small dipper as well. It just depends on your imagination. So you have the summer triangle here, Altair, Deneb, and Vega. And then below this line of the triangle, you have Delphinus in this part of the sky here. So let's see how big it is. Delphinus is bigger than I thought it was. When you see the whole area of sky, it's still small, but it encompasses this whole part of the sky right here. So let's look at the dolphin in mythical figures. And they do show it as a little dolphin. Here's the lines they use. This is the head, and then this is the body going out to the tail. So you have Aquila the eagle from the summer triangle, and you have Cygnus the swan. And if you join their two bright stars and go just below it, Delphinus is unmistakable. Okay, there are some deep sky objects and one double star in Delphinus, so let's head out to a dark site. Let's make it dark. And even from a dark site where there's a proliferation of stars, Delphinus still stands out, even though they're not real bright stars, simply because you've got the summer triangle here to guide you. You've got Altair and Deneb. You've got the band of the Milky Way, and then you've got just outside the band where the sky gets kind of dark again, you've got this obvious little flag-shaped design here, and it does stand out. So that's Delphinus. So, and one of these stars is a double, and I think it's Gamma Delphini. Just don't remember which one was Gamma. That's Alpha. That's Delta. And there's Gamma 2, so that must be it, because there must be a Gamma 1. Okay, let's point our finder scope at Gamma. And you can see there's a couple of stars a half a degree in either direction from Gamma Delphini. And let's see if Gamma splits again. Yes, it does. And it splits into a really dramatic pair. I like this. It's got a really bright gold and then a white star. So that would be pretty interesting. It'd be a tight, bright, outstanding double star. So I've got to remember that. This is labeled Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 Delphini. It shines at 5th magnitude. So it looks like it's the leftmost star of the flag asterism, depending on which way the sky is oriented, what time of night you're outside. So it's like the farthest corner of the flag. So have a look at that one. And there are no Messier objects within the boundaries of Delphinus, but there is an asterism that's known as Job's Coffin. And let's point the finder scope in this direction. And you've got Alpha, Beta, Gamma, which is our double star, and Delta. And these four stars here are also known as Job's Coffin. So what I've been calling, let's go back out to about a 20-degree field of view. What I've been calling like a flag, they're actually calling this asterism Job's Coffin. So I don't have any more deep sky objects within the boundaries of Delphinus that I have on my list. Let's see if Stellarium has something that might catch our attention. It's like the first one that showed up. So if you slide, let me show you that again. If you're using Stellarium and you click on the View menu and you go to Deep Sky Objects, I've only got NGC, Messier, and IC checkmarked. I probably should checkmark Caldwell while I'm at it. And maybe Colander. But what you want to do is check mark labels and markers, and then as you start sliding these over, the hints one just shows you the symbol. The labels one shows you the actual name of it. So I wish they would lock these two together. I don't know why you would want them separate. That's just me. I guess it's how cluttered you want your star chart. So we could turn labels all the way down and just tell it to show us the symbols. See how it's peppering your star chart? Or you can do it the opposite way and just have it show you labels. It doesn't seem to show you as much with labels as it does with hints. I typically just drag them together, keep them kind of close together. See what shows up first as you're sliding them to the right, and that'll give you your brighter ones. So the first one that showed up was this globular cluster Caldwell 47 or NGC 6934. I didn't have this on my list tonight, but let's take a look at it anyway, because there's not much in Delphinus. Let's give it a little time. So let's see if this globular cluster here, 9th magnitude, 52,000 light years away, is interesting. And there we are. We're pleasantly surprised. Caldwell 47 looks fantastic. And make a little mark here on my list. I've got to check that out next time I'm really out. It looks like another object showed up here. Another globular cluster. It showed up a little bit after that, so it must be a little dimmer. This one is 10th magnitude, NGC 7006, at a distance of 137,000 light years. Just really far away for a globular. That's beyond the usual range that you see. See if it shows up through the finder. Not really. Stellarium may not have an image for it. They do, surprisingly. And it's actually looks pretty good. I wonder what that would look like from a dark site in reality. So you can see my star chart's all cluttered with these, so I'm going to turn them back off for a more realistic view of the night sky. Just my preference. So that concludes my tour of Delphinus tonight. Thank you for joining me, and good night and good seeing.